Let's get right into it. Number 7. Support theater. It's when someone is emotionally present in the same way a cardboard cutout is present. Technically they're smiling aggressively, contributing absolutely nothing. You tell them about your big plan, new job, new relationship, new creative thing you're terrified to admit you care about. They nod. They say, "That's awesome," with the same tone they use when someone mentions a coupon. No questions, no curiosity, no follow-up text later that night saying, "Hey, how are you feeling about it now?" Just applause. Curtains close. Show's over. Fake friends want the optics of being supportive without the inconvenience of actually supporting you. Real support requires memory, effort, and sometimes discomfort. Fake support requires a sentence and a smile. They'll hype you up in public because it boosts their image. Being seen next to ambitious, interesting people is social currency, but the second you need real backing, help moving, advice during a crisis, or someone to sit with you while you spiral a little, they vanish like your phone battery at 11%. Your brain notices this pattern before you consciously do. You feel weirdly lonely after hanging out with them. You shared something important, yet you feel emptier than before. That's because emotional validation is a two-way street, and they brought a one-way mirror. Support theater also comes with selective amnesia. They forget your milestones but remember their own in 4K resolution. They'll miss your birthday but remind you of theirs like it's a federal holiday. Basically, they're not rooting for you. They're rooting for the version of you that doesn't require anything from them. Your nervous system clocks that instantly and files it under people who clap but never stay for the cleanup. Number 6. Competitive listening. Some people don't listen to understand you. They listen to reload. You start talking about a bad day. Before you finish the sentence, they're already halfway into a story about how their day was worse. Suddenly, your problem becomes the opening act for their main character monologue. This isn't just being self-centered. It's a specific social behavior where conversation turns into a competition instead of a connection. Fake friends treat sharing like a scoreboard. The psychology behind this is insecurity dressed up as relatability. Your feelings are a threat because they shift attention away from them. So they hijack the moment, not maliciously, but reflexively, like a conversational sneeze they never learned to cover. They'll say, "I totally get that," right before launching into a 10-minute anecdote that has nothing to do with you. You walk away thinking you talked, but somehow nothing you said actually landed. Real listening has pauses, it has questions, it has space. Competitive listening is all noise and no absorption. It's like shouting into a canyon that only echoes one person's voice. Over time, your brain starts editing itself around them. You share less. You simplify. You stop bringing up things that matter because you know they'll get rerouted back to someone else's emotional highway. Basically, fake friends don't hear you. They wait for you to stop talking so they can talk louder. It's not a conversation. It's an emotional arm wrestle you didn't agree to participate in. Number 5. Selective availability. Ever notice how some friends are mysteriously busy whenever you need something, but somehow have Olympic-level availability when it benefits them? That's selective availability. It's not that they're busy, it's that their calendar has opinions. You text them because you're spiraling, celebrating, or just need a human voice. Hours go by, maybe days. Then suddenly, when they need a favor, advice, or emotional labor, your phone lights up like it's New Year's Eve. This messes with your head because inconsistency is psychologically destabilizing. Selective availability creates a slot machine effect. Sometimes you get connection, sometimes you get silence. Fake friends aren't unavailable. They're unavailable to you. Their energy is transactional. They subconsciously rank relationships based on usefulness, not mutual care. When you're not immediately valuable, you get put on hold like customer service music. They'll also reframe it as a personality trait. "I'm just bad at texting." Miraculously cured when gossip drops or they need emotional support. Real friends notice distance and check in. Fake friends only notice when access is gone. Suddenly they're confused, offended, or weirdly defensive, like you canceled a subscription they thought was permanent. Your body responds to this before your brain does. You feel hesitant to reach out. Basically, selective availability teaches you to shrink yourself for someone else's convenience. Number 4. Emotional recycling. Some friends don't care about your emotions, they reuse them. You tell them something vulnerable, a fear, a mistake, a private insecurity. They nod, they empathize, they store it away. And later, it reappears, maybe as a joke, maybe as gossip, maybe weaponized in an argument when they need leverage. That's emotional recycling. Nothing you share stays sacred. Everything becomes material. Psychologically, this shows a lack of emotional boundaries and empathy. Fake friends view information as currency, not trust. Your vulnerability isn't something to protect. It's something to repurpose when convenient. Sometimes it's subtle. They'll bring up your private struggle in public like it's a fun fact. "Oh yeah, they're bad with commitment," they say, laughing, while you stand there mentally replaying the moment you told them that at 2 a.m., thinking it was safe. Other times, it's strategic. During conflict, Suddenly they remember every insecurity you ever admitted and deploy them like emotional confetti, not to resolve the issue, but to win. Your brain reacts to this by clamming up. You stop sharing. You keep things surface level. You feel tense around them, even during casual conversations, because part of you is guarding the vault. Real friendship creates emotional safety. Fake friendship turns honesty into a liability. The worst part? They'll act confused when you pull away. You never open up anymore. No kidding. You learned the stove was hot. Basically, emotional recycling is what happens when someone treats your inner world like a thrift store. Take what they want, resell it later, and act like it was never yours to begin with. Number 3, achievement minimizing. You finally do something big. You survive something hard. You grow. You change. You level up. And when you share it, they respond like you just told them you reorganized a drawer. Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, anyone could do that. That's achievement minimizing. It's when a fake friend takes something you're proud of and gently presses it into the emotional carpet until it's flat enough not to threaten them. This one stings because it's quiet. They're not openly cruel. They don't insult you. They just drain the color out of your moment. No excitement, no curiosity, no acknowledgement of the effort it took. Just a neutral, vaguely dismissive reaction that makes you wonder if you're overreacting by caring. You're not. Psychologically, this comes from comparison insecurity. Your growth forces them to look at themselves, and they don't like what they see. So instead of rising with you, they shrink your accomplishment until it fits their comfort zone. They'll say things like, "That's great, but," and then immediately shift the conversation. Or they'll reframe your success as luck, timing, or something external so they don't have to acknowledge your effort. What's wild is how your body responds. You feel deflated, embarrassed for sharing. You make a mental note not to bring up wins around them anymore. That's not humility, that's self-protection. Real friends amplify your joy. Fake friends ration it. They're fine when you're struggling, confused, or stagnant. But the second you start moving forward, they subtly try to slow you down. Not because they hate you, but because your progress disrupts the story they've been telling themselves. Basically, achievement minimizing is emotional static. It dulls your signal so theirs doesn't get drowned out. Number 2, conditional loyalty. Some friends are loyal the way free trials are loyal. As long as things are easy, fun, and beneficial, they're there, laughing, agreeing, hoping you up. But the moment things get uncomfortable, conflict, boundaries, honesty, or actual accountability, they vanish or switch sides like it's survival mode. Conditional loyalty means they support you only when it costs them nothing. You notice it during disagreements. They won't stand up for you if it risks their social standing. They won't back you if it makes things awkward. They'll stay neutral in situations where neutrality quietly betrays you. Psychologically, this comes from conflict avoidance mixed with people-pleasing. Fake friends want harmony, not integrity. They prioritize being liked over being trustworthy. They'll say things like, "I don't want to get involved," even when you're being clearly mistreated, or worse. They'll tell you one thing in private and a completely different story to everyone else, adjusting their loyalty based on the room they're in. Your nervous system clocks this instantly. You feel exposed around them, like you're always one wrong move away from being unsupported. That creates hypervigilance. You censor yourself, avoid honesty, and walk on eggshells. Real loyalty isn't loud, but it's consistent. Fake loyalty is situational. The most telling sign? When you set a boundary, they interpret it as betrayal, because in their mind, loyalty meant access, not respect. Basically, conditional loyalty is friendship with fine print, and you didn't sign up to be supported only when it's convenient. Number 1, disappearing when you grow. This is the final boss of fake friendship behavior. Everything's fine while you're confused, insecure, figuring things out, or staying roughly the same version of yourself they're used to. But the moment you start growing, emotionally, mentally, professionally, they slowly fade out like a background character written off the show. They stop checking in. Conversations feel strained. Jokes don't land anymore. There's a weird tension that wasn't there before, and no one names it. That's because your growth changed the power dynamic. Fake friends are comfortable when they know where they stand relative to you. When you start setting boundaries, valuing yourself more, or needing less external validation, they lose their role. You're no longer predictable, and unpredictability makes insecure people uncomfortable. Psychologically, this is about identity threat. Your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. Instead of reflecting or evolving, they cope by distancing themselves from the reminder, which is you. They might frame it as drifting apart, but the drift only started when you stopped over-explaining, over-giving, or over-accommodating, when you stopped being endlessly available, when you stopped playing small. What hurts most is that they don't leave during conflict. They leave during clarity. Your body notices this shift before your brain rationalizes it. You feel lighter when you're not around them, but sad about what you hoped the friendship was. That's grief for potential, not reality. Real friends grow with you, even if it's awkward at first. Fake friends only like versions of you that don't challenge their sense of self. And here's the quiet truth. People who disappear when you grow were never walking beside you. They were standing comfortably on the version of you that no longer exists. Basically, fake friends aren't betrayed by your growth, they're exposed by it. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.